to give you guys an idea. A little bit funkalicious. This is gonna get expensive quick if we keep doing this. Second, that's the ticket.
Don't buy them.
What's going on, you guys? My name's Jesse.
And I'm Dan.
And today we're taking a look at every part that we've put on our 2024 Harley Davidson Road Glides. With the release of the 25 and 26 models and them having stayed the same, a lot of you guys have asked us which parts we like, which ones we hate, what we would change, what we plan on changing. Dan and I have a ton of parts on order, so we're kind of in limbo of being able to do parts installs, so I figured now's the perfect time to kind of bring you guys in, walk around both bikes. A lot of people have asked about hearing Dan's exhaust. We could talk about seat height and fitment between a Lepera and a Saddleman, although I have done some custom work to it. So there's just a lot we could talk about here. We're gonna do some shop hangs with you guys and just see where the day goes. So let's get started. All right, we're gonna put Dan's bike on the lift first. We'll put it up in the air and everything. That way we can get up close and personal with all these parts so you guys get a really good feel of what they look like. First, like I said, we've had a lot of questions about Dan's exhaust. We're gonna have him fired up. I'm gonna open the shop door so that you get more of like a, less echo type of sound, and hopefully we get a good sound clip of it.
All right, guys, since we gave you some exhaust clips, we'll start out with the exhaust. I have the Trask Big Sexy. It is a great exhaust. It's not gonna give you any more horsepower if you've got the factory engine. It's made for the big bore kits, 140 horsepower plus. And it sounds great. It's not too loud. It's not raspy. It's decently deep. One thing I really don't like about it is when you're digging into the corners, you scrape the exhaust and it sticks out a little bit. The welds are nice. It holds up really well. I've got about 10,000 miles on it. All right, moving on to Cruzy Original floorboards. They are great. They're comfy, they're big. One thing I really wish was a little better with it is the coating doesn't stay on very well. So it comes off pretty easy.
Yeah, I can see here that basically the crowns of all of these spikes, all of the black has already worn off. And I mean, how long have you had these? Like, what, 5,000 miles, something like that? You put them on just before Arizona Bike Week, yeah?
Yeah, just before Arizona Bike Week.
So I guess 10,000 miles.
About 10,000 miles. Same with the exhaust.
Yeah, between Arizona Bike Week and Sturgis, so.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I see, look like they're adjustable here. So you can adjust heights, right?
Yeah, you can adjust height. You can also move it backwards.
Oh, okay, I see that, yeah. So you have a second set of holes here, so you can move it back, kind of have more like a mid-control setup. That's nice.
I've got the nice brake lever. I got this off Amazon.
And it really is nice. Nice CNC.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know? The coating holds up really well on this.
better than somebody else's?
Better than somebody else's.
All right. What kind of brake pad you got on here? Is this also all one piece?
That's all one piece,
all
yeah.
Right, all right.
For highway pegs, I have the Thrashin' pegs, and they hold up really well.
Yeah, good coating. I have heard hit or miss on the anodized. All of my anodized stuff from Thrashin's been good, but yeah, this looks good too. So,
my rear passenger floorboards came off Amazon as well.
How's the coating on those?
The coat, they haven't been used.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Don't buy them.
Don't buy them?
No.
Okay.
They look
not?
good, but I don't trust them. They have a little wiggle. If you can see that. That's all the way tight, but they have a little wiggle.
I see they are toothed here so that you can kind of pick your angle of them. But yeah, that's still sloppy. We don't like that. And then the other thing too about having a regular peg style mount and using a floorboard on it is you cannot run it up all the way or it will hit your paint here and scratch. So you gotta be very cautious of not like standing and having it hit your leg there, or a bad passenger. So something to think about there.
That's right. My crash bars. These are longboard wheels, and I like them. Good color. If it fell over, it's probably gonna hold up. The coating, this is an Amazon. This is an Amazon crash bar. The metal seems fine, but the coating on it, absolutely horrible.
Yeah, so you can see as the sun has faded it, like you can see where it's been covered, it's good. And then you look over here and that is just, yeah, that is very, very faded. That looks like something that you could definitely repolish back out, but yeah, that is really faded bad, especially compared to like the bottom arm, which is protected, by the shade and being underneath the bag there. Keep in mind, Dan is not like, oh, freaking Amazon trying to save money. At the time, that rear crash bar, nobody could get one in stock in 24 when these bikes first released. Like, you couldn't get anything. You couldn't get a tour pack. There were no seat options. So, like, you got to remember, we bought these bikes, like, early 24. So, it's held up, and, I mean, we don't know if it does its job because he hasn't dropped his bike, thankfully. So, anyways, just side note there.
All right, we've got the Trask intake. As far as I know, it's been great. It gets a decent amount of air, enough for my stage 2, and there probably is better ones, but I don't know the difference.
Yeah, looks good. Clear window there.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about it.
Yeah, I like the little intake venturi there. So how often do you have to pull that plastic off, that little plexiglass piece, and clean the inside?
I do it every oil change.
Okay. Something to keep in mind. A little bit of extra maintenance there, but the extra work is for a really good look. So, and then how does that work with your knee here? Because there's a lot of questions about, does that block your knee from being able to go all the way up against the tank? And it looks like it's not too invasive in your space there, but.
It's not invasive. The factory intake was a lot more invasive than this.
Okay.
This is much better than the factory intake.
Okay. So yeah, looking here from the tank, yeah, that doesn't stick out far at all. What else you got for us, Dan?
I got the Lepera seat.
You did.
Yeah.
Got a big old Saddleman banner up there. One with a Lepera.
One with a Lepera. I like it.
Yeah.
It's comfy. It's the gripper seat, diamond stitch. It's a nice seat. Only had it for about 75 miles.
I can see here that it has the cutouts for the crash bar. That's nice. Fits really good along the body lines. So I'm not gonna lie, I sat on Dan's Lepera, and I've already been planning on purchasing one in addition to my Saddleman one, just because I've had a lot of people say, hey, you're favoring Saddleman by only running their stuff, and that's a fair statement. So I figure to be completely even playing field, I would buy a Lepera and ride that for a while as well. Still gonna run my Saddleman road sofa with the girlfriend every time because of that wide rear passenger area. It's phenomenal on long trips, but I figure giving the Lepera kickflip or tail whip, whichever one this one is, in replacement of my Saddleman step up, would be kind of a fun little thing to do. So that will be coming in the future, and then you guys will hear more about that. But I sat on it, and it is damn comfortable. So I am impressed with the quality of it, the finish of it. So moving on.
All right, I've got a derby cover, and it is a ride or die derby cover. So my shifter knob is, I don't remember what it was. I ordered it offline, and it's rubber coated, so It feels good on your foot compared to metal. Yeah,
I don't like the Thrashin one for that. It's a little bit hard on my freaking foot when I'm wearing Vans with no padding.
What is this? What?
I don't remember what brand it was that made this. It was like a super patriotic brand. Like he was big on like American flag stuff and stuff like that. But that is a really cool piece. Dan surprised me with that. I think it was like last Christmas or my birthday. Mm-hmm. What was it?
It was your birthday.
Yeah. So I had the thrash and shift linkage, and Dan had these made, one for him and one for me, and surprised me with them. And it was just an awesome gift. And they look really cool on the bike, and kind of early on in the channel. It was just fun to have that. So looks really good on there, works perfectly. It does have nice heim joints. The finish is held up really well. All the cutting along the letters kind of gives it an extra sort of dimension to it. The letters are raised and then just, you know, sanded off. So really clean finish, looks really good quality. Same one I have on my bike.
I have the Lindell brake rotors in the front and soon to come to the rear.
So Dan has the race pads with the Lindell rotors. I have the same rotors, but I have the street pads. I will say his stop way harder. I remember riding it for the first time and going, damn, why didn't I get the race pads? Reason is they say that the rotors last a lot longer with street pads, but the aggressive braking that you get with the race pads is like, I was surprised at the difference. So if you are really interested in good smooth braking and you're not worried about going through rotors faster, which are expensive, I won't lie, they're like $600-700 a rotor times 2. So there is that. But if you have the money to spend, I would suggest the race pads. I think that's what I'll go with the next time that I do mine.
I have the Metzler tires. They cup pretty easily, but they stick. I like them.
How many miles do you have on them? And I mean, I think you've got what? You did Sturgis on them.
I did Sturgis. That's it.
That's it. Okay,
right before Sturgis, we took off on them.
So you've got almost 5,000 miles on them, and they do look pretty good. I had about the same on mine, and they're also doing good still. I mean, the cupping is real. You do get a little bit of that because that rubber is just really soft. By cupping, I mean you get high spots at each of the tread patterns, but I mean, still not bad for, for almost 5,000 miles.
I have the Öhlins cartridges, and I kept my kettlebells on there. Thought it was a good look.
Yeah, looks really good. The red and black just flows nice.
It does. I have the Samsung windscreen, and it pushes the wind pretty well. I like it. Right at the forehead, it just kind of blows it right over you.
Yeah.
So it's the right height for me.
How do you like having an all black windshield that you cannot see through? It's not like dark smoke. It's like, it's black.
It's black.
Yeah.
I've gotten used to it. When I first got it, I didn't like that it was solid and I couldn't see through it. I have the Pizoma risers, and they are great. They kick back just the right amount. They're comfortable. They're durable. I did change the clamp bolts on them because the clamp bolts were hideous.
I do like that you can see through the clamp and see the thrash and bars there. That looks kind of cool.
Yeah, nobody really has that one.
And a spot here and here to run your wiring through. As you can see, that's what Dan's done here. It's a bit of a cleaner look. Okay, so they're 12-inch rise, 1.5-inch kick pack. Cool. And what bars do we got here?
I have the Thrashin mid bends.
Okay. And how do you like those? Good?
They're great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Finish has been good. You got your Thrashin logo here. Same bars that I have on mine. And then everything else stock up here except for grips, yeah?
Yeah. They are Avon.
Avon grips.
Avon grips.
Okay. And then I see you did what I did. Cut out your stock clamshell cover here to fit your Öhlins caps of your shocks. Kenwood speakers.
With the Harley CVO amplifier.
Okay, so stage 2 Harley amp, Kenwood speakers.
Yes.
All right. And those do sound good. I remember when Dan showed up with them, bumping, I was like, oh, what are those? So definitely a viable option if you don't want to run OEM Harley speakers. You can upgrade their amp. You can usually find people on Marketplace or like the forums that are getting rid of their factory CVO amps or the stage 2 amplifiers. I think they're like a 500 watt amplifier or 250 per channel, 500, whatever it is. They're getting rid of those and doing even more, which you don't need, to be quite honest. After like an hour or two, you gotta freaking turn it down anyways, or you're gonna have ringing ears. So, yeah, good speakers, Kenwood, can't go wrong. Moving on.
What you can't see is in the engine, and it is the 511 cam. And I'm highly disappointed. It's not great. And I plan on changing that for sure.
Yeah, so the 511 Screaming Eagle cam from Harley Davidson is an emissions compliant cam, meaning you can run it with other exhausts and whatnot, but the actual lobe profile of it is such that There is not a lot of overlap there, and you end up with a much more emissions friendly in terms of like, you know, unburned fuel and air and stuff like that version of a cam. So you're not going to see huge benefits here. I have seen people post like or comment on my videos, like the one that we did of the install, and they were like, oh, I don't understand how you don't see a huge gain here. It's way better. And I'm sorry, the numbers that you see they're not great in terms of gains compared to other aftermarket cams. The Screaming Eagle tuner with the can tune for that is also extremely limiting. They're not bad, they work. They're not extremely unhealthy for your bike. So there are advantages there, especially if you're looking to maintain your factory warranty. But there's a lot more that you can get out of these 117s with a better cam choice and better tuning options. So Dan and I raced. I have plenty of videos of us drag racing from 0, from 60, from whatever, and we're side by side the whole time. And that just doesn't clock. So, yeah, exhaust, intake, and cam combinations. The only thing's different, I'm still running a stock cam, and that just shouldn't be the case. So, new cam coming soon for him.
Another thing you can't see is I have the Thundermax.
Ah, that's right. Right under here, under this cover.
It's much better than the Harley's factory ECM tuning for the 511.
Yeah, very true. Again, the Screaming Eagle tunes are canned tunes, so they're made to work with their exhaust and their cam and their intakes and stuff like that. So the minute that you start changing, putting a different exhaust than what the tune was written for, you're making changes that the tune is not accounting for. Yes, the ECM can adjust within 10% plus or minus, on AFR tables, but it's not enough in all scenarios for the bike to run well or be healthy. So an aftermarket tuner at that point is the right move. Thundermax is good. Power Vision I hear is good. Never used it. I have a Thundermax in my bike as well, so I can vouch for that. I did have an Impact ECM as well. I hear they're great from other people. Not my experience, but I may go around again with them and try their ECM again. I might try Power Vision, might stick with the Thundermax, not sure yet, but I do have some more tuning information to discuss with you guys that has kind of come to light over the last, year or so with these new model bikes. So yeah, we may deep dive into that some more. So anyways, Thundermax runs the bike good. You can tune it. A lot of tuners will tune it. Yeah, enough said on that.
I've got the Custom Dynamics plate frame.
Looks really good over the stock one. And this does light up, yeah?
It does.
Oh, yeah.
You want some light?
Yeah, show me that. Nice. Yeah, looks really good. Cleans up that big freaking honker that's on the back.
Looks like that blue guy from Sesame Street's nose, right?
Yeah.
I have the Olin suspension on the rear, and they're great. Going around corners, it took the wobble out of the cornering when you're going around the corners.
Yep.
So it really makes a night and day difference. You go from feeling unsafe to feeling planted.
I leave him alone for 2 minutes. Breaks the damn lid on my whiskey bottle. Unreal.
Oh.
All right, we're gonna pull Dan's bike off the lift, pull mine on, and discuss what we got going on with that.
Let's do it. There's a little bit more to explain.
Couple things. All right, Burnout shop dues paid. Just a little baby one, but still made some good smoke. So we gotta let this clear out a little bit, and I'm gonna pull my bike up. I guess I kind of
Gotta do a Burnout too.
yeah, it's a brand new tire. It's got like 100 miles on it.
It's yeah,
All
not
right.
bad.
Well, this is gonna get expensive quick if we keep doing this. All right, fire it up, let it warm up a little bit. See what we do. Woo! Hell yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What happened?
Oh, yeah. No.
So, to give you guys an idea, I just did a freaking dirt nasty burnout. Dan hands me the camera and goes, "You ain't gonna believe this."
Wasn't recording.
Yeah, he thought I handed it to him on.
What an asshole. Hands it to me, not recording.
I know, it's on me, right? All right, well, let's just back this thing down to another burnout.
Yeah, let's do it.
We already got the neighbors all primed up, you know?
Yeah, they're happy, ready to go.
I want a quick second. Okay. All right. Second, that's the ticket.
Your sign's on?
Yeah, it's on in there. So fun fact, there's a guy on the way to buy Chloe's car. I gotta sell it to him. Hopefully he doesn't think we do this with hers. I started off smooth on that second one. I said,
Right.
just like 3,500. And then you just know, yeah.
It's all here.
Can't help it.
And hurry up.
I'm trying. All right, now that my freaking thigh is cooked, let's talk about this thing. So, I've got almost 20,000 miles now. I've enjoyed the heck out of this bike, but it has had some issues. Like 600 something miles, it left me stranded. At like 6,000 miles, I had the entire main wiring harness replaced under warranty due to some issues. Short somewhere they couldn't find. I've had a cam sensor failure at 9,000 miles in Southern California on our Arizona Bike Week trip last year. But other than that, the bike has been solid for me. All the parts that I have put on this bike have been to improve it and to be able to have videos for you guys, stuff like that. So as I'm going through this and I'm showing you guys this stuff, keep in mind that I really loved this bike when it was bone stock. Like, it was a great bike, great touring bike, not so much great performance bike, but that's because it's a touring bike. So it's my choice to change that and make it into more of a performance touring bike. That's what I'm going for here. I like performance baggers. I really like the look of it. I like the style of it. I like the idea of it, but I do also do long multi-state trips with Dan, and we really enjoy that. That's my favorite type of motorcycling. So a lot of the parts that you see here are kind of with that in mind, kind of splitting hairs between being performance and being touring. So let's get started on it here. All right, so I think we'll start bottom to top and front to back. So starting up front, we have the Lindell 21-inch, 21 by 3, not 3.5 like a stock wheel, 21 by 3 front wheel, forged, billet, chrome. Really nice finish, really nice wheel. The second time around, you guys have probably seen the video. First time they sent me a set that was a little bit funkalicious, but second time around they got it right. Really, really like these wheels. They're a little bit lighter than stock. So, and then we've got the Lindell rotors. These are the same size as stock, almost 13-inch stock now. So nice big rotors up front. Still running stock calipers for now. That'll change in the near future. We're running a original garage fork brace. Ended up needing the fork brace to kind of stiffen everything back up. With a 21-inch wheel and the forged carbon fender, there's not much rigidity between the two forks, so adding the fork brace helps with that. Even helps with braking. There's less shimmy going on between the two calipers and everything just moving as a unit. So yeah, we've got the forged carbon front fender. That is a Hoffman Designs fender, but I am going to be swapping that out for a Fat Boy Designs Sport forged carbon. Two reasons for that. I like the look of the Sport forged fender, and the forged carbon itself in the Hoffman Designs fender is different than the forged carbon that I have that you'll see throughout the rest of the bike. Hoffman Designs has a really, really good product, so nothing against them. It's just they use a very specific type of forged carbon look. They're long, thinner strands, and nothing else on the market, whether it's a forged helmet or forged parts from various companies, match it. So I'm going with what is going to match everything else, because I am mixing and matching companies based on my needs, right? So that's that. Forks, we've got 2-inch over Arlen Ness fork tubes, gold. And then we have Öhlins FKS 331, 229 cartridges for the 24 and up road glides, actually even previous touring models. But nevertheless, I did add the FXR Division 2-inch extensions. Those screw right into the top of those Öhlins cartridges, adding 2 inches of height overall with the fork tubes. A lot of people ask how I was able to make a 2 over Öhlins kit, because that's not like something that's advertised factory. So that's how I did it. Plus 2 Arlen Ness tubes, plus 2 FXR divisions. And there is one other thing that is really, really hard to find online that they don't tell you about, but you need it when you add the plus 2 cartridge, and that is a second top out spring. The alternative is to use like a 2-inch piece of PVC, but the second top out spring helps with the actual height when you adjust that, when you add that 2 inches to bring that back to the right amount of top out. So basically when you fully extend out, you still have the spring engaging. So that's that. You can see here we have the Thrashin tree in chrome. That is the bottom one. It does absolutely nothing except look really freaking cool. The top tree is where the magic happens, but the bottom one in this scenario, there's no change to rake or anything like that, so the stock one was fine. So it's actually a little bit heavier than stock because the stock one's all cut out and it's cast aluminum. This is one solid chunk of billet aluminum that they cut out, and yeah, it's not any lighter. So just an FYI there. It used to be lighter. On the 23 and below, it was a steel set of trees. Now they're aluminum, so on the 24 plus. So it used to be lighter, but now it's negligible differences. So coating looks really good. Chrome, you see that, looks good. We're running the A10 Moto Baja Designs lighting kit, all yellow. It's not cheap. It's bright as hell. Pisses everybody off. I get high beamed so often that like there have been times where I'm like, I need to get this off my bike. Like I love it. It looks great. I'm not going to take it off my bike, at least not for the foreseeable future. But it is just like, it's really bright. Like I'm telling you, it's bright. Like you might not like, oh yeah, like no, really. So it pisses Dan off. It pisses people going in the same direction of travel as you off. Pisses people coming at you off. It's just, it comes with the territory. So that's that. But it looks really good. It's a really well thought out kit. Harness is really nice. It's got its own dedicated, fuse and relay system, which I do like. Other than that, no modifications necessary in terms of like, battery voltages and alternators and whatnot. So we're good there. Powder coat looks really good on the bracketry. You can get the lenses in clear or in yellow. This is called selective yellow. It's the best color that the human eye can see. So brightest results that you're going to get in all circumstances are with these yellow lights. So for one day, I had clear lenses in the middle and then yellow on the sides. Didn't like it, so went right back to the all yellow. You do have to pull the fairing to do that, so make your mind up, kind of stick to it if you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot there. We'll work our way this way, continue on. We've got the same Baja Designs S1s that are up here on the A10 kit on the crash bar. Made a video on that you guys can check out. This was almost a year and a half ago now. I actually drilled into the bar and put a riv nut in there. Having done so, then I was able to bolt the bracket up underneath, trim some edge off the bracket, make it a really, really clean look. And I hate when people run the wire along the crash bar and zip tie it. So I ended up drilling a hole, running the wire through the crash bar, and then it comes out somewhere back here in front of the engine, not too close anywhere, but comes out there, drops down, and it plugs into the factory fog light harness location. Really nice because you can toggle that on and off on the cluster. Just settings, fog lights on, and boom, they're on. So really straightforward there. I like that. Pretty cheap upgrade, but it does add a bit of lighting. So if you're trying to run the stock headlight and you just want some good fog lights or to add a little bit more light, the S1s on the crash bar are a great option. And if you don't want to do the custom mounting job that I did, there are plenty of aftermarket options available for mounting. So I do recommend them in that aspect. Since we're right here, Carbon Visionary. I have a lot of Carbon Visionary stuff. This is their reservoir cover. So this just slips right over the top of your coolant reservoir. So there's that. Carbon Visionary coil cover, same thing. They are forged carbon. Forged carbon is not an actual forged carbon. It's just chopped up carbon laid on top of regular carbon. As far as I know, forged carbon, like where you would just take chopped up carbon and compress it together, isn't really much of a thing. Usually it's more of a stylized thing that's laid on top of regular carbon. But nonetheless, full carbon product, looks really good. Carbon Visionary makes awesome stuff. They're out of stock a lot, but I won't talk about that. So, moving on, thrashing floorboards. I like them. I've scraped them, even with the TPU slider here. I have made contact with the ground quite a bit with that. It does hit after the kickstand, but nonetheless, you are going to run into hitting the ground with extreme lean angle, even though they're cut out really nicely. That cutout here does prove to be a little bit uncomfortable in terms of like where your foot ends up landing. Usually it ends up like right here and it kind of wants to roll off if you're not like, you know, engaging your ankle there. So I would prefer a little bit wider floorboard here. My cure for that was to actually add 1/2-inch spacers right here and here on the mount to pull it out a little bit further. That way I can get my foot kind of all the way on it, but still have that kind of low profile design. Keep in mind that does obviously make it easier for you to lean and hit the ground if you were to go far enough, but I'm +2 front and rear, so that shouldn't be an issue. So then we're running the Thrashin shifter arm as well, -1 inch, so it's actually a little bit shorter. I like that better. And then the Thrashin tip. We've got the same Off-Wheat Garage shifter linkage that you saw on Dan's bike. We've got the Trask derby cover here, clear. Looks really good. Only time I clean it is during oil changes. Comes out for doing the primary change, wipe it down. Looks brand new still. The coating has been fantastic. Yeah, no complaints there. So here's where we get into a little custom work. I might be able to plug in a couple of cell phone pictures, but I ended up making a custom set of floorboard mounts. So I took the stock Harley mounts and I ended up cutting them in half, and then I welded it up on top, and then I did a bunch of other metal work and fancy work and painted it. And so basically what you get is, instead of the floorboard sitting about here, down and out like a lot further, it's set way more in, and it still clears by a perfect amount. Ended up cleaning up this edge right here so it doesn't hit the primary cover, and they're both angled. I mean, I used a laser, I used a digital level, so I actually got it like perfectly on the bike to where they're the same angle this way, and distance from the covers. So that took a lot of time, but the girlfriend rides, she rode to Sturgis with me on the back, like 4,000 something miles, so she deserves a set of floorboards over pegs, and I don't like the floorboard being bolted to the peg style mount like you saw on Dan's bike that can hit the cover. So I like this a lot better. Best of both worlds. No, I will never make these for anyone because it took me so long, unless I was to like cast it and then like mass produce it, but then somebody on Amazon would get their hands on it and then they would sell it. And yeah, anyways, moving on. We're running still stock belt. That is about to change. I have a VulcanWorks chain kit on order. We'll talk more about why I'm doing that and more stuff of that to come. Crash bars, Harley Davidson crash bars, front and rear. Ended up getting rid of the Harley Davidson pucks, and these are now original garage pucks. Coating has held up well. Not really anything else to say about that. Here we have the Codeland bag latch covers, billet aluminum, nicely cut out. They look really good. They're available in black or chrome. I'm actually changing those out for some forged carbon ones from Fat Boy Baggers, something or other. But those just came out and they're gonna match the rest of my forged carbon. So those are gonna be up for sale if anybody wants to buy them. All right, so we're at the back here. We've got the Carbon Visionary rear fender and Custom Dynamics taillights. And then we've got shark fin reservoir mounts for my Öhlins shocks. And I like them. Unfortunately, I did have an issue where I had the reservoirs down too far while we were on our Sturgis trip. I didn't notice, but when the bags were being opened, they were hitting and it chipped my clear coat on both sides here and here. So if you buy these shark fin mounts from Carbon Visionary, make sure that you have the shock reservoirs slipped up far enough that you don't have that issue. So there's that. Plate mount. I did not want to drill holes and put any damage into this beautiful forged carbon rear fender. So ended up doing the Hoffman Designs lay down plate mount kit. They offer it in raw billet and in black. I went with the anodized black. Also running their seat screw here, and then Custom Dynamics flat plate kit. And I did get a little trick and actually wire the light in. So it runs underneath the seat tab here, underneath the seat, plugs in, so it works like factory, it lights up. And I haven't gotten stopped for it. I also like this option because when I take the seat screw off, I can also just take the plate right off. And Arizona Bike Week last year, we ended up running a light at like 80 and it was a speed light. And so I just ran no plate the rest of the time there, so I didn't get any plate tickets. Obviously, use your best judgment on that. It's probably a bad idea, but that's what we got there. Saddleman seat, custom deal. They made it for me for the channel. Really appreciated that from them. Looks awesome. I have made some changes to it. I ended up raising the bike up so high with suspension work that I could not really touch the ground too well. Between a +2 in the front, a 21-inch wheel, and the seat, I was like I could not. Like Dan was having to push me around tippy-toe to back up. So I wanted to get a little bit closer to the ground, but I didn't want to have to lower the bike. So I figured, hey, I could lower the seat a little bit and maybe throw some more gel in there, make it more comfortable. So I popped all the rivets off of the seat cover and tried to do that. And ended up taking away probably too much foam, put a second layer of gel on, and it's really comfortable for short trips, but long term it's not. So I don't want to say I ruined the seat, but it's probably better before, but I couldn't touch the ground. So you live and you learn. If I could go back, I would probably undo having messed with it. But it's a beautiful seat and it is comfortable. I rode all the way to Arizona Bike Week on it last year or earlier this year. So much has happened this year. Gripper, tuck and roll. Tuck and roll adds a little extra foam in each of the pleats. Comfortable there. Diamond stitch on the passenger. Gel right here. I've seen it firsthand because I have taken this thing apart. Girlfriend likes it for around town. It's comfortable, but she does like the road sofa for longer trips. Again, Codeland bag latch over here. We've got the 18 by 5.5 Lindell rear wheel. Chrome, same as front, everything's same. And then we're running their bow tie brake rotor as well. Exhaust. You guys have seen 3 different SP Concepts exhausts from me. This is my favorite one so far, and I might even keep this one. This is in raw form from them. Really nice coloring in the welds. I like the welds. I like the sound. It sounds just phenomenal. It's not too loud. It's not too poppy. It made great numbers on the dyno. I think that's probably due to the anti-reversion chambers there, or expansion chambers, I should say. Just overall, really good quality stuff. Brackets really good and strong, bolted to the transmission here. Paint's held up well on that. Pretty much that's it. They do have O2 sensor ports that are good for larger size, like a wide band O2 sensor, or a little adapter for your stock O2 sensors that are smaller. So there's that. Same thing over here, custom mount for the Thrashin floorboard for the passenger. As I said, got it clocked perfectly to match the other side. Figurati Designs. We've got their magnetic dipstick for the transmission and engine oil. Knurled, chrome, badass. What more can I say? Intake. Harley Davidson intake. This is their heavy breather. This makes really good numbers. I've heard some people complain, taller people, about hitting their knee here. It does stick out. It's not a problem for me. I don't have long legs, and depending on what seat you have and how far back it seats you and how high up it seats you, if you're seated up higher and you have less leg bend, your leg is going to be further back and not like up against it. So for me, I like it, not a problem. Again, Thrashin floorboard, again, 1/2 inch extension, Thrashin adjustable brake arm, adjustable in height, not in obviously length. And then we have their pedal as well. We have no engine work done to this thing. I have been holding off on doing engine work solely because there's so many other things that I believe are important for motorcycle performance than just having a lot of power, right? You gotta be able to stop. You wanna be able to handle well. So in my opinion, being comfortable on the bike to handle it well is seat, floorboards, foot controls, bars, risers, brakes, tires. For me, that stuff comes before a lot of power. So engine work is going to be happening over this winter, hopefully. I currently have already spent like $6,000 to $8,000 in parts that I'm waiting on. So hopefully I can budget for some engine work as well. So that's that. We'll go ahead and drop the bike down and show you some more little bits and pieces that we've got going on up top and see if I forgot anything. And I forgot to mention Olin suspension in the rear. This is the HD 779s, same as the 44s, but they're black. Looks really good. I do have 1-inch extensions on them. So factory shock height in the rear is 13 inches. These were 13 inches, and then I added 1 inch more with a set of Kraus. I think they're Kraus 1-inch extensions. You can add 2 of those stacked up, but I have a different solution, but I'm gonna show you guys that later. So yeah, that's that. Got your carbon visionary forged tank dash. Beautiful, beautiful piece. Nothing but good things to say about that. Another beautiful piece here, Hoffman Designs gas cap. This is just so much nicer than the stock one. The fact that the stock one opens up this way and then like you're trying to get around with risers and your gas lit, I mean, it's terrible. So just a nice twist off design. All billet, all custom, really nice machine work. This is raw polished, this is not chrome, so a little bit of upkeep on that, but beautiful piece. So moving our way right here, we've got the Thrashin top tree. This is optioned out for being adjustable with having the risers in the stock location or 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches further back. You can flip it around, and with those plates, covers it up. It looks like, you know, whichever location is what, you know, is factory. So it looks really nice and clean. As you can see, I do have the fork legs actually slipped up about 3/4 inch in the tree. So I can actually add more length if I was to, you know, slip them up further. So along with the tree here, you see that we've got a nice forged carbon cover on the factory fork lock. That is an option. You can completely remove it, and Thrashin has a cover plate that covers that, and so the tree still looks really nice and clean. But I decided to keep the lock because we do a lot of traveling, staying outside of hotels and stuff like that. We put, you know, chains and locks and stuff like that on our bikes, but added sense of protection with the fork lock. Unfortunately, Thrashin does not offer it in a gloss forged carbon, only in the matte. So that's going to get clear coated when I get some other stuff painted in the near future. So you got Kraus custom T-bar setup. They offer a couple of different fork leg length options, 5-inch, 7-inch, etc. These were 7s that I cut down to 6.25. That ended up being kind of perfect for what I was going for here. And then we've got the pullback here. This is like 1.5 inches to 2 inch of pullback. I forget exactly, but really nice. This is their isolated riser, so it does have a polyurethane bushing in the top to add a little bit of dampening to the setup because we do not have any polyurethane bushings in the trees. This is just hard bolted tree right to riser and a bolt through. So just like Dan, Thrashin mid-bend bars, love them. They have a really nice amount of sweep, so they're very, very comfortable in that aspect. We've got ODI grips. I like moto grips. If you look around the shop, all you're gonna see in here is this. I've got these grips on here, same on the Dyna, same on the dirt bike. I like them, they're cool, that's it. And then we've got the Carbon Visionary handguards. Once again, beautiful piece. When they showed up, I was like very impressed because I kind of pictured the forged carbon would be on the outside and I would see the carbon on the inside, but I mean, front to back, it's jewelry. Like the inside is just as clean as the outside, so I was really impressed with that. Then we've got the Bullet Works mirrors. These are, if you've heard of them, the Samsung He's from Thailand. He's from Thailand. That's where Dan got the windshield. If you go on Instagram, they sell a lot of cool billet parts, CVO RR knockoff parts, stuff like that. High quality. That's not BS. I know it sounds, whoa, Thailand, but for real. Check them out. So that's their mirrors, forged carbon inlay on the backside. Looks really cool. Opted for the black anodized there. What else? I know there's more. Oh, Clockworks 10-inch windshield. Love it. Clockworks makes a great product. Kicks the wind off really well. This is in the dark smoke. They do have like every color option. So if you want to get funkalicious with it, you can do anything you want. So nice piece there. And we've got stage 2 Harley Davidson speakers. These are Rockford Fosgate factory. So yeah, stage 2 Rockford Fosgate, 500 watt, I believe, amp Rockford Fosgate as well. Love it, hate it. I don't know. I think it's decent for the money. I think it's a good kit. There are other options available, but you kind of have to piggyback an aftermarket amp on top of the stock one. So now you're talking about more wiring, costs more, and I think bang for buck and for ease of install, just go with this. This is great. Now Rockford Fosgate even offers a third option, a stage 3. I don't know what that gives you, but it's there. So a couple things that I already realized that I forgot to go over with you guys. A lot of people have asked me what radiator guard I'm running. Had the stock one fly out somewhere in southern Idaho, but it is a Custom Culture Designs billet, beautiful piece. Looks really cool, it's held up well. It's got like 6,000 miles on it, and it looks like the day that I put it on there. It's in raw form, which helps. There are anodized options, and then you can color it something else, but it might chip. So really happy with that. And now I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I plan on changing. I should have done it while I was on them, but scatterbrained, it is what it is. 21-inch wheel is going away. I like it. It looks awesome. I am going for more of a performance bagger, and going down to a 19 is kind of an important part of making that happen. Handling wise, getting the rake and trail back to near stock or even better would be getting the rear of the bike up, the front of the bike down. That is going to lead to a much easier tip in cornering, and that's something that I'm looking for. That's something that I sacrificed a little bit for the 21-inch wheel. So we're switching that up. We're going down to a 19-inch Lindell wheel. That's also going to help with like braking and just overall like tracking and performance there. So forks, not running any cowbells. So with that, I do end up with a lot of bugs on my fork tubes, and that has wiped out multiple seals now on our trips. I had a blown fork seal in Arizona Bike Week. I had a blown fork seal at Sturgis. And I don't want to run cowbells, so I'm not going to, but I do need to come up with a solution for guarding those fork tubes. I could just get in the habit of cleaning them at gas stops. That would probably take away most of the issues right there. The other option would be to have like a fork protector piece that covers them, but that would hit my fork brace. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is getting what's called fork socks. I used to use them in the dirt bike scene, especially on like sandy racetracks. They're a neoprene sock. You just slip right around the actual fork tube, and then it Velcros on. And that blocks anything from hitting it. And when you're done, you get to a bike show or whatever, just unvelcro it off. And yeah, so I think that's what I'll end up doing. I haven't really seen that in the Harley scene. I don't know. I don't think it's a problem running them. So that's probably what I'll do with that. Headlights. I love the headlights. Like I said, they are bright as hell, and I am hoping that A10 does come out with a dimmer harness in the near future. I know that they offer something like that for their light bar kit, so I think it is in the works and will be here hopefully sooner than later, because like I said, I don't want to take the lights off, but I do want to solve the issue of just being ungodly bright when sometimes you don't want that. A lot of times I do, but that's that. I'm going to keep the chain conversion and a couple of other little details to myself for a future video for you guys. Can't just drop a whole bunch of freaking, lore on you at once. So Tires. Oh, let's talk about tires real quick. So I was running the Metzler Cruise Techs and I liked them, but unfortunately after a few thousand miles and cupping on the 21-inch wheel, because you're talking about a larger rotating mass, it got harder and harder to have that tire be balanced properly. So I ended up trying these Michelins now. So now I'm running the Michelin Commander 3s. When I get my 19-inch wheel, I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna go back to Metzler's and do a bunch more burnouts for you guys on that rear tire, or if I just buy a Commander 3 for the 19-inch wheel and run these for a year and let you guys know how these are. So let me know. Should we do a shit ton of burnouts, or should we, be responsible and just throw a tire on there, since that tire has like 100 miles on it? So I think that's pretty much everything. I could be forgetting some stuff. If I am, let me know in the comment section, or I'll probably have already realized it as I'm editing this, and then I'll drop it down below for you guys. Hopefully this was informative. Hopefully it's helpful. I like a lot of these parts. There's very little bit that I'm changing, and anything that I am changing is due to personal preference and having my style choices change, not because I found that the parts sucked. Everything that's on these bikes we like, to be honest, except for I don't know, the exception of maybe like the coating on a couple of things. So, oh, one more thing. I have a Thunder Max too. Forgot to mention it. Thunder Max. No, I forgot. I mentioned that earlier when we were talking about yours.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, either way, I'm running a Thunder Max too. It's good. We'll talk tuning stuff later. So, yeah, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you can catch future content. Like I said, I have like over $6 grand in parts that I'm waiting for this Road Glide. So I'm very excited to bring you guys more Road Glide content, because that's what we started the channel with. So thanks for sticking with me, and I will catch you guys my next off week.